Welcome, one and all, ladies and gents, to, of course, your favorite podcast, the H-Cast. We are on episode number 56. We are plowing our way through these episodes week on, week out. You guys keep showing up. We love you attending. And of course, you guys clearly enjoy the podcast. So we're very flattered by that. So what do we got going on today? Well, it's a pretty action-packed show for you today. A lot which couldn't obviously fit in the title. We've got Disney spending way too much money on a show which they cancelled, which is just utterly hilarious. We've got Rachel Zegler, Snow White. Yes, there is some slight updates on that. I am sorry, we've got to cover it again, but it's still funny. It's a lack of self-awareness. We've got Godzilla. The big G-Man is here. Of course, I've done a video on the main channel, but we're going to talk about it here so we can get a group conversation going. We've got Blue Beetle, the headliner, the man, the myth, the legend, or is it just DC embarrassing itself once more, lying? Who knows? I mean, it's up for debate. My cynicism and your cynicism is unequivocally warranted. And there's more. Some Ahsoka TV show nonsense going on as well. So it's a pretty action-packed show for you all today, ladies and gents. So thank you all for joining. Again, of course, your favorite podcast, the H-Cast. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday. Thursdays are a little bit earlier. I understand that's a bit of a shock for some people, but you guys seem to be rolling in now and you sort of understand, and we're a little bit early on a Thursday. So we are joined by epic panelists today. We've got Culture Casino, Tom Connors. An invite has gone out to Andre. Andre was due to be joining us. Not quite sure what's going on with him. Hopefully he will drop in. But before I give the floor to my epic panelists, just got to say this show is funded by you guys, for you guys, with the super chat function. So, and super stickers as well. You can see one actually just come in now from a Truth Seeker American. Super stickers and super chats go such a long way, as well as memberships to the channel. This show is demonetized instantly, basically. So hilariously, sometimes actually just when Tom opens his mouth, it just gets demonetized. But obviously, you know, we thrive off of your comments.
I haven't even said nothing yet.
And demonetized.
Well, there you go, demonetized now. But yeah, super chats and super stickers go a hell of a long way, guys. So if you want to support your favorite podcast, please do. It helps out quite a lot. And those comments and questions get turned into, generally speaking, their own video on the second channel. In fact, there was like 2 or 3 that released over the last few days. Specifically, you get your name highlighted, you get your question highlighted in that video. You're basically the star of a video on the second channel. So there you go. There's my big epic preamble. And on that note as well, subscribe to the second channel. Link is in the description box. How are we all doing, my esteemed panelists?
I'm rocking it. Today's been beautiful. We dropped a great video on my channel. I got another one coming out. We did a 6-minute daily. We're here right now. In a couple hours, we'll be over on WDW. What?
Damn it. I just hurt myself. Sorry. I didn't know I was not muted.
Don't do that, Tom. Anyway, Tom's recovering from surgery.
Yes. Surgery. Tom was in surgery today. Man. So how are you doing, Tom? You all right, mate?
Ask me in 5 minutes.
Oh, no. Right. That sounds ouchy.
Well, coincidentally, we are actually demonetized right now. So I've just got to look. You can probably see the light flashing on my face. That was me looking to see if we're demonetized, which we are. So thanks, Tom. You opened your bloody big mouth and we're demonetized.
We haven't even said any bad words yet. What's happening?
I know. I
haven't said any honestly, filth yet.
That's a great bit.
Honestly, I don't understand it. I don't know why YouTube seems to hate the podcast, because it's very strange. It doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, never mind. How are you, Tom? You had surgery today. Do you want to update?
Yeah, I'm sore right now. I'm hurting myself. I'm sore.
I hurt myself today.
I'm here.
9
Hopefully the drugs kick back in here soon.
The OG.
I hurt myself today.
There you go.
You got to do the Nin 9 Inch Nails version.
I like the 9 Inch Nails, all right, but I think it's okay. But that sounds like Pattinson dressed as a bat is singing it. I like the Johnny Cash version because it actually has some heart to it.
It does.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Beautiful video as well.
Like the Nine Inch Nails version just makes me want to cut myself. The other one is like,
whoa,
you're crying for the old
definitely
man.
demonetized now.
Well, since I might as well earn it. I mean,
oh dear Lord, goodness me, we descended to the depths already. You're actually going to go watch Blue Beetle tomorrow, aren't you, Culture?
Yeah, I'll be seeing that tomorrow, and I'll probably have a review up on Saturday. So, and we'll talk about it obviously on Tuesday because I think all of us will have seen it by then, right? So,
yeah, should have. I'm hoping to go watch Strays tomorrow, and then Blue Beetle at some point, maybe Monday, something like that. Monday is my busy day because I've got every day's bloody busy. Monday is my sports therapy day, so yeah, I'll have time to watch it. Blue Beetle. I'm gonna rush out and watch it, I guess.
Oh yeah, because you are so looking forward to that film.
Oh, like honestly, you know what? The thing is, it just looks like a Marvel Phase 1 movie. So, but we'll get to some of that.
Okay, fair enough.
Un momento, because we've got some super chats and super stickers to get to. So, Truth Seeker American sent in $10. Again, wow. It literally keeps the lights on here. Thank you so much. This show is demonetized. Your favorite podcast is funded by you guys for you guys. So, goes a long way. Thank you. And D has been a member for 7 months. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Good night. Larry Quadowitz for $5 says, hello, Mr. H Culture and Tom. Old Boy is back in theaters. All I need is a hallway and a hammer, and I'm good to go. I presume you're talking about the Korean one, because the Western one is, oof, boy howdy, it's not good. It's yeah, it's not good. Have you seen the Korean or the Western one, Culture?
Which
Tom?
is the one where he sleeps with his daughter?
That's it's his sister, Korean one.
Oh, it's a sister. Okay.
I think I've only seen the Korean one.
I was gonna say I thought in the U.S. version they changed it to his daughter, but okay.
Yeah,
did they?
Maybe I could be wrong.
I never saw the Merkin one.
I don't remember that.
I don't know. I barely remember the original. I seen it like way back when it first came out, and I barely remember it.
Some of us.
The original is epic. Korean one's brilliant. Larry Quadowitz has clarified he definitely does mean the Korean one, i.e., he has taste. D, you gifted 5 memberships as well. Thank you so much. I didn't see that, although I can see Culture typing as me in the chat. But thank you so much, man. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. And JS Pena says,
I was right. It is the daughter in the U.S. version.
Is it? Oh,
that's what Wartooth said. Yep. Yeah. So did Omniscient guy. I'm not totally crazy. I'm still
the US one sucks.
That's leave it to us to make shit weirder.
Yeah, it was weird and
weird enough with like because there was already that comedy where what was it with I can't remember the dude, but like Heather Graham was the chick in it, and they find out they're brother and sister after they fall in love. What movie was that?
What? Who? Say again.
I think Heather Graham was the chick in it. I'm trying to remember who the dude in it was.
But try again. What were you describing?
They want to get married, and then they find out they're related. I'm trying to remember what it was. A horrible comedy.
Oh, well, there's never been any of those before.
No, but this was like 10, 15 years ago. Right. Oh, and see, they're saying it's the daughter in both versions.
What?
Maybe something was lost in translation in the version you saw, Mr. H.
No,
No, I don't remember it being the daughter.
Yeah, me either.
Is it Joe Dirt that's in? No.
Or is it that he make... No, sorry, am I...
No, there's a whole nother movie where that's what it's all about.
Oh, well, whatever. I need to remember.
Yeah, but anyway.
It's been a lot. Anyway, JS Pena sent in $1.99. Hail Godzilla, the real top G. And Israel R sent in $4.99. Says Hail Hcast and panel. Thank you so much. I'm thinking maybe, is it the Korean one? Is the Korean one, the villain is his sister, and the guy stumbles across it, imprisons him, and then is it the woman? No, I don't remember a daughter, mate. It's been
They're
a
saying
long
it's
time
the
since we
daughter in
watched
both
it.
versions. Yeah.
Is it the daughter? Does the villain make? Does the
I think
villain make the
is
guy
the
sleep with,
sister, I
like,
think.
makes him sleep? But does the villain make the protagonist sleep with his daughter? Is that what happens? I think. Is that right? Maybe that's ringing a bell. Correct me, chat. Oh, fantastic audience.
Say It Isn't
I
So
think
is the
it's
movie I
that.
was thinking of.
I think it is that. I think the villain sleeps with his sister, and the MC finds out and tells everyone for revenge. The villain instigates him to sleep with his daughter. Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then threatens to tell
They
her.
were saying
Yes,
that the something about the villain and the sister, yeah. And then the
that's the
other movie I was trying to
one.
think of was Say It Isn't So with Chris Klein and Heather Graham.
Oh, there you go. Well, there you go.
It came out in 2001, and yeah, it's about these people, these two that fall in love, and then they find out they're actually long lost brother and sister. Yeah, it was horrible.
Well, I think that's enough of
Enough of the incest talk. Yeah,
Yeah, wow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Let's move on. We got another super chat from the Big Nose, long time, recurring contributor now. Leave it to the US to lower the standards. Yeah, I mean the movie itself was. I say the US one's it's just shit. Like it's just not a good version. I mean the original was weird anyway, obviously because we're talking about incest. Al Humphreys for £3 Saturday Super Sticker. Thank you so much, my dude. And shall we just kick this off? Shall we get to our first topic? Actually, is not Blue Beetle. Our first topic is Willow. It cost Disney $100 million, and they shit canned it. $100 million for this, and in 6 months they binned it off. Forbes, I'm loving Forbes.
I don't believe this. I don't believe this at all. I think this is a lie. I think it cost them $200 million.
Yeah, it was closer to 200 million. It was about 185.
Just because we know that's how much they friggin' spend. Exactly what Culture was about to say. Yeah.
Well, but this is from Company's House in the UK, so I'm guessing you're looking at the US stuff as well. Then the addition,
probably,
yeah, because all we get is on that side of the window is $106 million in money spent in the UK. Then you have all the after stuff that is.
Yeah, if this is coming, is this coming from one of the tax filings?
Yeah.
Because I think that only covers whatever they spent over there. That doesn't cover whatever they spent here. That doesn't cover any CGI. That doesn't cover any of that business. Yeah.
Nope.
So I would say the loss of Willow is probably more along the 200 to 250 range. But I don't know how much they're going to get 25% of it back. Okay, so figure that in there. Yeah.
No, only 25% of the $100 million. Only 25%.
Okay, so just of the $100 million. Okay, well that's less. Yeah.
Just to explain to everyone, just for context, ladies and gents, we're obviously looking at Willow, Disney. What happens is, and what's been essentially media are auditing Disney and other studios currently, and they can do that in the UK because they can search on Company's House. Company's House is it's a UK registry of companies that have to file taxes in the UK publicly. Now, if you film in the UK and you're working in the UK as under film, and this is why a lot of companies come here, is they get 25% tax rebate, basically, or 25% of the total back. It's a reimbursement of the total money that they spent there. So it's a tax relief system. So what companies are doing, media outlets like Forbes are now they're trawling through Company's House and looking at these filings and then just putting Disney on blast as a result of it because it's heavily comical. But then what this doesn't show is also because it's only for the company that is formed and founded and worked within the UK. So it's only that amount that is spent and filed under UK tax that gets that 25% back. But there's obviously for Disney post-production work, and that's held elsewhere, Disney Plus stuff, the marketing side of things, etc. So this figure inflates massively. There you go. Context. Just thought I would chuck that out there. So basically what they've done is they've spent over $100 million on a show that 6 months later they cancelled. So how much is it that you think it is? Because I've not heard this figure.
I think based on everything that we've seen in the past, it's about $185 million.
Jesus.
Yeah, and again, that's combined UK production and US side, but they did obviously save $25 million over in your lovely country on your dime. Thanks
It
for
does
that.
say here, actually.
Yeah.
No. So the UK government's regulation state that each TPC must be responsible for pre-production, principal photography, and post-production of the television program, and for delivery of the completed program. Accordingly, there is no doubt that their financial statements show all of the costs of each
No.
series. It isn't even possible for studios to hide costs in other companies, as the law Disney are being sued at the moment by
Yeah.
TSG, so I would imagine that they are.
No, I mean, and again, I mean, there are additional services that could be added to that. This is one of the things that I would call Forbes on the carpet for, because their reporting isn't reflecting some of the other expenses in the States.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they weren't with the other stuff either.
Yeah, I mean, because otherwise it would be in considerably more, because they would have to include cost to deliver, which would break down what it costs for the backbone to deliver the product to everybody globally and all of that other stuff. And those numbers are never reflected in any of these statements. So again,
but also it doesn't make any sense anyway, because they're like, well, it's a recently filed statement from for the 17 months to December 31st of 2021. So when was it filed? I mean, yeah.
See, this is the thing.
I don't think they can't have all of it in there. They can't.
No, they're going back in the past, and this is the other thing about Disney. Disney's been getting in a lot of trouble with your lovely government because they've been
getting in trouble with everyone at the moment.
Well, but they've been improperly filing with Companies House or missing deadlines to file in certain instances, including most recently the Acolyte, which was widely reported on that they were in a bit of issue with. So it again, we're seeing the budgets being massively increased after it's revealed in Company House that they spent far more than originally claimed. So this is an ongoing thing. This is not new.
Yeah, but I just think, I mean, look, even if you take it on face value and it's that $100 million, I mean, I know, Tom, you're going to love the rant about this, but even if you take it on face value, $100 million, to shit can it 6 months later, I mean, my God, that's bad, isn't it? And there must be, what they must have done, they must have waited 6 months. That must be, because when you get a tax rebate, to qualify for that, surely you have to keep the product around for a set period of time. So they must have just cut it off at that one, literally at the moment they were able to. They cut it off, which is the write-down period. And so then they've got a tax. This is what annoys me about it. They've got a tax rebate and a write-down, tax write-off basically at the same time.
But see, where are they claiming? But ask yourself this: where are they claiming the write-down at?
How do you mean? Where? Like what?
What country are they getting the write-down in?
I don't know. America,
yes.
I imagine.
Yeah.
It's double tax.
Yeah.
No phase. That is exactly what TSG is suing them for. Every every accounting playbook, whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
God,
it's bonkers, right? Because I mean, Disney's reporting information from their entire company, but they're taking the tax things here in the States to offset, issues. Yeah, we're in a weird place. We're in a very weird place, and Disney is doing all kinds of shenanigans. And you know what? They're being sued for it, and rightfully so.
TSG suing is hilarious. Yeah. And I said this in my video, is that TSG, every studio does this. Every studio does the accounting. Every studio does, but TSG is just cash short now, so they're pissed. So then they're like, right, no, we've got to sue you, because also the strikes are happening, so they're not making stuff and they're not getting money back. And Disney shortchanged them, so they're like, right, well, we'll just take you to court then, because it's an unwritten rule, obviously, amongst everyone that this goes on.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, so funny, so funny. And yeah, Disney. I got called a Disney hater for doing that video, and I'm like, it's a what? This is a factual. What do you mean Disney? They're being sued. It's not a big Disney hater. Like, it's just a fact. Oh, God. Anyway, Tom, we haven't really heard from you on this. Sorry, bud. Get your delirious state out of here.
What are we even talking about again? I know, Willow. Like, nobody gives a fuck about Willow. Look, I'm one of the probably closer you could find to an actual big Willow fan. I loved the original film. I haven't gone as far as to read the sequel novel that they put out there, but I know enough about it that I'm like, you had it. Much like Star Wars, there it was. And I watched like the first 20 minutes of the show, and I'm like, you went against it was almost like you went out of your way to make this difficult for yourself. Willow was set up for woke. Okay. The movie ends with the bad princess becoming good, marrying Mad Mardigan, and them adopting who is supposed to be the next sorceress as their daughter. This show starts out with them bad mouthing Mad Mardigan, and we find out that that Laura Dannon is now a servant. So they've taken their adoptive daughter after they had some legit kids and said, you know what, bitch, you can serve us some bread.
That is awful.
This whole thing was set up to where it was clearly you have everything you need right there. Like the sequel could have been the Star Wars of our era in a sense of Laura Dannon is this super cool, powerful whammon princess being trained by Willow as a sorceress. There's your movie. A new horrible power emerges, and she's got to face that power and save their little land. I don't remember what the hell the name of their land was. They called it in the movie. Not Middle Earth.
Shire.
Yeah, well, Willow. Yeah, the Willow Shire thingy. I don't know. Not Middle Earth. Okay. It wasn't that hard. And you give us a bunch of cameos from everybody we love from the original movie. That's all you need. It writes itself.
Yep.
It is so simple. And then I'm watching this shit, and it's like, okay, nobody's gonna enjoy it. I don't and that was the thing is Willow didn't have enough fans to begin with to even have the Star Wars kids coming out, you know what I mean,
so
where
bizarre.
they can defend it, right?
What a weird choice of a show to do as well. Like it was a niche. It was a niche when it came out.
It didn't flop, but it didn't do the kind of numbers George was hoping. And well, the big thing I think where George fucked up is he made some shit toy deal with Ertl, and the toys were horrible compared to Star Wars, so it never caught on with kids.
Yeah.
And the movie was more of it was probably should have been rated PG-13 too. That was the other problem is it was a bit more violent than Star Wars was. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that's because of the sense of greed that that George had at that point, because he made that deal with Ertl rather than Kenner at the time. And imagine that if he'd made the deal with Kenner, they would probably still be in business today, and he would have got some good toys.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. More Kenner toys. I love a Kenner toy. Kenner aliens. I've got my homage to the Kenner aliens there.
Fancy. You're fancy.
Oh, fancy you are. Anyway, that's my God. I'm not fucking doing a Yoda impression. Right, anyway. So there you go. Disney. Absolute hilarity. What a pile of absolute nonsense. $100+ million on a show that they just can 6 months later. What a joke. What an absolute joke. And this is the thing, right? Like, you look at that, and this is what I find utterly hilarious about this entire situation, is you look at the amount of money Disney spent on Lucasfilm, $4 billion. Lucasfilm has systematically destroyed the value of every single brand IP underneath it. And thus, if you were to value Lucasfilm now based on its box office receipts, as in like actual profit and loss, I don't think it would be worth $4 billion now. I don't think it would be at all. Maybe, but not adjusted for inflation, so still not 4 billion. I don't know. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. But we do have some super chats here. Let's get to some of these once I sort of move my back around because it's in pieces right now. We got one from Hide F10. High Def, not Hide F. What an idiot. High Def 10 for $5 says, our users bored as me with the race swap. Seems like a way of trying to make more money. So I was having this conversation with my barber. That's right. I got a slick do. And she's great. She's proper based. It's like 55-year-old woman that cuts my hair. She's really, really cool. And I was chatting to her about it, and I was like, look, you know, she's like, oh, what have you seen recently? I was like, nothing. Like, I've not really seen anything, to be fair. And I was like, but yeah, like, writers striking, etc., etc. It's like it's not exactly exciting stuff anymore because these writers, their creative outlet is just going, oh, you see this person? We're going to remake this, but they're going to be black, and you're like, oh, that's absolutely that's ridiculous.
Or you're forgetting it. Usually, it's like we're going to change 6 things about that person.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I'm just talking specifically about the race swaps things here.
Sure.
But I mean, it's literally everything, right? Like it's everything you can imagine, just opposed. That's all it is that they do. It's the opposite of everything that has established an IP or a story or a movie to its levels of success. They do the opposite of that. It's very bizarre, but it is. My reaction to it now is sheer boredom. I'm like, of course. Like I generally just shrug it off because I'm like, yeah, obviously. Like, when do they not do that now? Like, it's so bland and boring that's what they do all the bloody time. Make this guy a girl and make this one this. It's just, for goodness sake. Anything to sort of add to that? No.
I already added what I wanted to say. It's like they changed 11 things about everything, and it's
we
like
change race swaps now in Hollywood are like people changing their fucking socks. That's why I don't even bat an eye at it anymore. That's why I'm like, it's not even special. That's why I'm like, why are you making a big deal out of Little Mermaid being black? Now, if this was 2010, maybe 2000, definitely have something to say about it. Nowadays, all you're doing is following a fucking trend.
And it's not a popular trend as has been revealed in recent blockbuster.
In fact, it really made me question the Batman most of all, because I'm sitting here watching it, and when they make this big BLM deal and you start to notice that every single white person in the movie is horrible and only the black people are good, it's like, so is that the only reason that you hired this dude to play Jim Gordon, is so you could have him be a good guy then? Because that's when I start asking those questions. I didn't ask that question about Perry White and Man of Steel.
Yeah, okay, true. Yeah. I'd have to go back and watch it again. And
that's my point, is once you sit there and you look at the movie, when you have the whole shit that she's bringing up, when you have every white person in that movie being a horrible fucking person, or Batman, and even Batman claims he's a horrible person. They even take the Waynes down 10 notches just to make them horrible people.
Wasn't Alfred good?
Not really, because he's hiding. He hid everything from. Remember, he was also technically a bad guy because he hid all that shit from Bruce. That's what I'm saying. Not a single person in that movie who's white is good, and it's Batman making up for it for the last half of the movie. That's what his little conversation with Catwoman's all about on the roof.
Oh dear.
You can't argue it because it's true.
No, I'd have to watch it again. I mean, I view Alfred thing. I would say that's like.
To a point, you could argue it, yes, but he's keeping a very deep, dark secret about his family, especially considering you're watching this kid going out at night dressed like a fucking bat. Maybe you should tell him his family has some fucking mental issues in it. And maybe instead of allowing him to go out and dress like a goddamn bat and get himself killed, you should have him go see a therapist first. That's the problem with this movie. Sorry.
Tom's drugged up, everyone. I like it. It's good.
But I'm being 100% honest.
Very true. Accent seller for 50 Norwegian kroner says Ari Willow. I think Peter Dinklage called Disney and told them to remove it. He wants to be the only dwarf with an acting gig.
He's succeeded. There are nobody's getting jobs. Yeah, nobody's getting jobs right now except for this dude, and he is hated for it.
He is really amongst the dwarfs. He is hated. And joining us now is Andre.
Hey, greetings. Sorry I am late. I was having electricity issues.
Oh,
really?
Yes.
You missed my Batman rant.
Gotta love the network over there. Good times.
Yeah. No, the network in Norway is just fine. You know, like the fires that were in Hawaii. Can you hear the noise in the background?
Not a lot. A little bit.
Kind of.
Okay, I'll get back to what that is. You remember the fires in Hawaii last week?
Yeah.
I don't know how much has been in the news, but right now there's similar fires going on in the Canary Islands. I can see them from my window because that's where I'm at. And what you heard,
get the fuck out of there!
Is another plane coming to extinguish it. Oh, here comes another one.
I don't trust them. Get the hell out of there.
I'm not even joking.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, we're not joking either.
Neither am I. Get the hell out of there.
On a podcast, Andre. You should be abandoned ship.
You're not just my friend, but you're my well-being. Get the fuck out of there. I'm being overly honest here, but still.
Yeah. Boss, you probably don't want to hang out by the fire. I mean, it doesn't usually turn out well.
No. I can see it. I can see it from my window, but there's still a good few kilometers to it, and there's literally a concrete city between me and it. So I think I'll be fine.
All right,
we're good then. We'll keep you around.
But I don't want to breathe too much on the veranda, just because it's
Jesus. Don't do that. Well, we got some more super chats to get to before we shuffle on to our second topic. You missed a good one anyway, Andre.
Oh, okay.
Below. But we got some.
I'll share a picture from my veranda on Twitter for those interested.
Oh yeah, go on. Do it. Yeah. Israel R for $10 says, with the recent lawsuit against Disney from TSG for Hollywood accounting, could other financiers start suing them and others since there is no money coming into the Hollywood?
Well, we actually saw it already with Legendary and Warner Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was like a distribution issue, wasn't it?
It was similar though, very, very similar. The whole thing is kind of under the same purview, I guess, is a way of putting it, because they're basically like Warner's. Yeah. Well, Warner's was right out in the open. They kind of had to just like deal with it because it was a COVID thing. This is even a little bit more salacious, I guess, in a sense that my understanding is they're accusing Disney of hiding profits, self-dealing. I'm willing to question whether or not there's a bunch of movies that Disney's not sitting on that they haven't released yet. And these guys could be paying interest on their loans for it, perhaps, and that's another thing where they're costing them money.
Well, TSG, the thing with TSG is as well, just for a bit of context, is that they're also saying that because Disney screwed them out of money, they didn't have the cash to front up for a pre-contracted deal to finance Avatar, which meant that basically Disney screwed them into a situation,
squeezed them out of it.
No, worse, way worse, where 20th Century Fox then had to loan them the money for them to then pay 20th Century Fox back the money to finance the Avatar: The Way of Water. And because of that, then they can screw them out of profits, even more profits. So it's what you're saying, but even worse, because they're like, well, we'll loan you the money that you actually owe us,
and sadly,
now we'll screw you.
We don't know what was in the contracts when Fox bought Disney, when Disney bought Fox out. So there could be things there that this could fall in, more in Disney's favor, but it all depends on exactly what they're accusing them of, what they can prove. Like you said, what projects they have put money in that may not have been released yet. And they could be arguing, we're not getting profits because of that. The other side of it is, here's where I think they have an argument to be made. When Disney has basically been sacrificing all these movies to Disney Plus, right? And a great example is, I don't know what deal they made with HBO, but they had Avatar on Disney Plus at the same time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how they got away with that one even. Yeah. So I do see some grounds here for TSG to stand on, as far as like the other side of it is when we were talking about before, like for instance, when we talked about the profits for Ant-Man, where they were claiming what was it, $100 million was paid for the video on demand rights. It's like, how does that work when Disney's basically paying themselves? And that's what self-dealing is, right? They're basically taking, $100 million from one pocket, putting in the other, and trying to claim they made that money. It's like, no, you didn't. That's just you moving money. And in that respect, I think it might not get to court. I think they'll end up paying out like Warner Brothers did to Legendary. It's probably going to cost Disney at the end of the day, though, but we'll have to see how it pans out here. Because I don't think they're going to want to get to Discovery and all that business too.
No, I cannot imagine they would. Cannot imagine they would want to go down that route. Hell no.
I wish they did, though. Can you imagine that? It would be almost as sweet as the Sony leak. If they had
to be amazing.
Hand over all those documents.
They had to open their books and emails.
Yeah. Can you freaking imagine that? Like, it's never going to happen. Disney is going to pay whatever, but their problem is they don't have any money to pay. Well, of course, yeah, like their CFO, he was like bragging about the $10 billion in their balance sheet, as if those 10 billion can all be spent on the Hulu acquisition next year, as if they don't have any other expenses that balance is going to go towards. They can use some of that balance towards paying back DSG and get that thing to go away. And they may have to, and which is going to make the Hulu situation even worse, because the alternative is facing Discovery. And that would be pretty darn sweet for us. I don't know how sweet it would be for Disney.
Crippling for Disney. Absolutely crippling. It'd be really, I mean, it's going to be an interesting turn. I mean, it's never going to happen, but it'll be interesting to see how they sort of front this in the media, you know, because inevitably Disney is going to have to pay them off, I would imagine, to avoid that from happening. So how is it going to be worded in the media? How is it going to be fronted? How is the PR going to be spun? That's the stuff which I find quite, you know, that'll be the interesting stuff. I mean, Discovery will be more interesting, but that will still be an interesting, you know, facet to what we will get, I think. Shuffling on now, we've got Accent Seller for 20 Norwegian kroner says, let's use the moniker Pissney now because it fits. Yes, I'm game with that.
That'll work.
Warachi for $2 says, how do you get demonetized so often? Mind boggling. I don't know. It only happens on it's streams. It is genuinely the streams. So it's this podcast, your favorite podcast gets demonetized. I don't understand it. It's very frustrating. I try to cover all my bases to make sure it doesn't happen, but it does. But it is what it is. It's a pain. So, you know, we've got 786 people here. So again, thank you so much. And on the topic of demonetization, we're reading out super chats. Super chats are the way to keep the lights on. They're the way to support your favorite podcast. And we spend a great deal of time reading out these questions, getting into, our thoughts on it. You've got a captive audience here. If there's anything you want discussed, super chats are the way to do it. Or if you just want to support members and super stickers, it goes a long way. Got to say it every now and then. Thank you for bearing with me when I say all of that stuff. Anyway, shuffle on. We've got John Apocalypse for £2. Says, F the haters. Mr. H, hating Disney is based. I don't think it's based anymore. It's just logic, common sense. It's like, well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that falls under based. Who knows? Larry Cordo for $5 says, I'm seeing Blue Beetle tonight. And in honor of the event, I'd love to hear Tom do Harrison Ford turning down the role of the Scarab voice. Much love, guys. On Tom, you got to give Larry his money's worth here.
There ain't enough weed in the world to get me to play a bug. I don't care if it's super.
There you go, Larry.
Fucking nerds.
Demonetized. I wonder why we get demonetized. There you go. There you go, Larry, mate. There you go. Thanks so much. And speaking of Blue Beetle, let's shuffle on to our next topic, which is Blue Beetle. So the review embargo. So I did this video last night, and as I was doing the video, Rotten Tomatoes deleted 2 reviews from the website, and the score went up. No word of a lie. You can watch the video live, and I'm like, because I go into the reviews and I come back to look at the score, and I'm like,
what? We've caught him doing that before, actually. Mr. H had a video from like a year ago where Six actually caught it live. Where I think it was Obi-Wan. Was it Obi-Wan? I think it was. It was either Andor or Obi-Wan.
One of the two. They've mixed together, don't they?
Could not believe it. I was like, oh, so what? Is it on my eyes? Did I just missee this? Did they deleted it live during the video? So it was so bizarre, honestly. Look,
and people wonder why I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes for shit. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like at the end of the day, Rotten Tomatoes is a metric to view from when you're comparing like for like or things like this. I mean, it's an aggregator at the end of the day, and it's interesting. It's a metric. It's an interesting metric to take a look at. I don't take any stock in it, but 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not doing particularly well. Like if you're looking. Well, let's do a compliment sandwich. Let's look at the negatives. Let's look at the positives. Bearing in mind, the review embargo only lifted last night. 2 days before its release, I think, isn't it? Because it's not out today; it's out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a Friday release. I mean, technically, I could go see it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 days before it's released, the embargo lifts. That's never a really good sign. So let's do a compliment sandwich, and let's get our esteemed guests' thoughts on this. So Nate Adams, the only critic, says it's somewhat of a disappointment, but at least Blue Beetle never takes itself too seriously. So the negatives, just as a brief summary, and we'll get to them. The negatives are basically saying it's trope ridden, it's generic, it's a Marvel Phase 1 movie. That's basically the highlights. And the positives are actually really positive, but they focus on family, Latino, culture, seemingly talking points from the studio. Family, Latino, family, Latino, family, Latino. They're focusing on that. And that always makes me go, oh, I'm cynical now. I think maybe that's a talking point given to them from the studio.
Well, it is, Nate, because in today's Hollywood Reporter, it's reinforced there.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. So let's get to a positive. So loads of people actually say Sholo was not only perfect cast of the role, but he's also gave a really solid performance. So people really like Sholo. Negative, there are so few moments in Blue Beetle where anything unexpected happens, but the strength of its cast helps to sustain it past this and leaves you with an experience that is something bordering on enjoyable, if forgettable. Yeah. Despite the aspiration to create Cronenberg for kids, Blue Beetle is typically juvenile fare. That's a positive review. What?
Well, sometimes Rotten Tomatoes is like that because, as I'm sure you're aware, the reviewers, they have the option to first say positive or negative, and then they write in their review. And I often see that for certain movies, especially those where there might be brownie points for delivering a positive review, they will mark it as positive while utterly lambasting the movie in a review that reads negative. Case in point, Rings of Power. I was a star example of just that. And I can see how this is one where it does the same. But if you look at the name there, Monica Castillo, who talks about family, culture, and humor. I mean, I don't know anything about her other than that the movie seems to kind of like be for her. She appreciated that, and she still only gave it a B. So that's like the positive things that she has to say about it. And I agree that when you look at the rest of Hollywood and what is being put out there, anything that is family friendly is a pleasant surprise these days. So I can kind of like see that if this is true, well, that's probably going to be like the same thing that we're going to say. Oh, on the plus side, it wasn't a stay single and get the cat movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you that. But I mean, look at this. It remains faithful to the superhero format. That's that generic comment coming through again, isn't it?
Yeah.
While not reinventing the genre wheel. That's a positive. It's not really put 3 out of 5. Grace!
What was it that James Gunn said about this thing again?
Oh, I don't know. But he's going to be part of the DCU going forwards, he said. Again, now.
Yeah, we'll see if that's true after this opening weekend. I mean, he really should learn to just shut up and take credit afterwards when it's warranted.
$30 million. Goodness me. Anyway, we've got our favorite reviewer, Grace Randolph here.
Yay!
Oh, so I didn't download that, Tom, that intro for the segment. I need to get that.
Didn't.
I know, I'm so sorry. Anyway, so like Spider-Verse and the new TMNT, Blue Beetle goes harder than expected. All right. While a lot of attention has been given to its Latino representation, which is very well done, this is also a fun superhero origin story, a potential star turn for...
So, what kind of dumb shit did Grace say this week?
I got it. Took me a minute.
That's,
I'm sorry.
That's an intro for an actual segment that we'll be running on the show eventually, which is what dumb shit did Grace?
Oh shoot! Sorry about that.
But anyway, Grace was saying that, like Spider-Verse, the new TMNT. Oh, fuck you, bitch.
We're having a great show today.
Oh my god!
Fuck her and her take on TMNT.
Anyway, what do we think of Blue Beetle?
Sorry,
Oh,
what'd you
God.
say, Andre? He's cutting out there.
Yeah, Andre, mate, your sound is super bad.
Yeah, well, internet is burning. What can I say?
I've seen the pictures.
Get the hell out of there! What the?
He's quite far away, Tom.
You should be on a plane.
It is.
The roof is on fire.
No, Andre is on fire.
Dude, the only planes that come and go from here right now are the ones carrying water to dump on to dump on the forest fire. So yeah, like I'm not sure you want me on a plane right now. So what? Like the engines get like caught up with all the smoke and stuff?
No. But get in a car and get the fuck away from the fire.
Right. What do we think? What do we think of Blue Beetle? Do we think this is a success or not? Because I think they've been painting this on the lead up, right? All signs point to this being a bomb. So $30 million opening weekend, awful. James Gunn has now come out yesterday going, Shola, this is going to be the best Blue Beetle of the DCU. Basically trying to get people to think that it's going to be part of the DCU. All of the reviews are it's the best DC
the
film
other Blue Beetles
in years. Yeah, honestly, Matt, I don't know. So I think this is desperation from them. I think the embargo is not great, but it remains to be seen. We'll have a look and obviously watch it. But if they don't do anything new and it is generic, and this is an entry point to the DCU, what a terrible entry point, because they're establishing themselves as ripping off Marvel Phase 1, essentially.
Yeah.
Which I think is terrible. Thoughts? Culture?
I'm with you 100%. I mean, first of all, that was great. We have to put that together with some video because I think the Grace bit's it's gonna be legendary. But that's the most fun I've had in a while. You're right though. Even despite your compliment, Sandwich, I fully expect this film to flop. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to deliver something that is going to be appealing to the entire audience. You know, it's not going to be as satisfying as you need a first film to be. I actually feel for Solo. I'm going to say it that way because, like I said, I mean he deserves film projects because he is a good actor. I'm afraid that he got caught up in a bad timing situation when it came to DC, and I hope it doesn't reflect on his future career. But yeah, with that in mind, yeah, we're crazy. We're crazy to think this is going to do well. So I'm going to go see it. So hey, you don't have to. So look for that review on Saturday because I'm going to make Grant work overtime to edit that. So it'll be fun.
I'll see you too on Saturday.
So Andre,
if you fucking survive.
Well, what do you think, Andre? You reckon it's gonna be a bomb? I reckon it will be.
Oh, it's gonna bomb completely.
Yeah, and
stop saying things like bomb when you're that close to fire.
What's your take on the
well? I don't think it's going to set the box office ablaze. Let's put it that way.
Stop it!
You're triggering Tom, Andre.
You're doing it on purpose now.
Well, but again, it's like I can see it from my house, but it's really far away. So
the Blue Beetle or the fighter?
Well, both of them. Here's a siren. But yeah, never mind. No, I think it's going to bomb spectacularly, which is probably going to be a shame because based on the reviews, it's probably an okay movie. I think it's going to be something akin to Venom, the first Venom. I think it's going to be approximately something like that, which, were it not for all of the shit superhero movies that we get otherwise, probably have been perfectly okay. So it's a movie that just came out at the bad time when there was massive stain on all comic book movies because DC is in chaos and Marvel has completely lost its way. And this movie is going to fall victim to that. As I've been saying, there used to be a time when Marvel was the rising tide that floated all boats. Right now, Marvel is the forest fire that sets them all ablaze. So yeah.
Tom, you got anything to add to that? Culture, minimize this thing. God damn it. Sake.
Blue Beetle, look, the beauty of Blue Beetle for Warner Brothers right now is that will most likely, even if it doesn't open very big, it's not going to really lose them that much money at the end of the day because it only cost $80 million to make. Moving it to theaters probably paid for that because they probably got back a good portion of that just in licensing deals. I mean, have you seen the popcorn bucket? I almost want to go see the movie just for the damn popcorn bucket. I'll show you here.
Probably won't get that. We probably won't get that.
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, like, I mean, do I think the movie's gonna be great? I've been hearing somewhat positive reviews from a few people in our community and stuff like that have gotten a chance to see it already. I think it's gonna be a mostly harmless movie. I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
Oh no, I don't think I just think it'll be like generic.
As far as but like, I mean,
is.
if it makes 30 million at the box office this weekend, that's a win for Warner Brothers. Because, like I said, the movie only cost $80 million. If they did $30 million in box office,
it was over $100 million.
Was it over 100? I thought it was only
like
100.
No, that was initially.
Okay,
and then they gave them. It's over $100 million. This movie. That's a cool popcorn bucket, though.
That's what I'm saying. Between that, some toys. Okay, let's just $100 million, 30 at the box office opening weekend. If they got another 20, 30 million in licensing deals, I mean, that's already almost half their money right there. This movie doesn't really, it was made for HBO Max. And once they put it on home video and shit like that,
125 million it cost.
Yeah.
So if it breaks that at the box office, it's a win for them. This is kind of a lot like Mutant Mayhem in a sense that it wasn't really meant to do anything at the box office. It was just meant to sell toys, and it was originally meant to be on HBO Max. So if they sell some toys off this and whatnot, good for them. I don't see it being the loss that a lot of people probably will, because I don't think they're expecting it to do it so well.
I still think it's going to lose money.
Barbie made sure that nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, well, I think it'll lose the money.
Barbie paid for this.
Barbie paid for this. Yeah, true. Yeah, I guess so in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah, as a studio, they don't care. You're right, because of Barbie, like, it's going to wipe out all of the losses from this in a heartbeat.
That's what I mean. Whatever they get out of this at this point is kind of like a bonus, because they weren't gonna get jack squat off of HBO Max. Who's gonna subscribe to HBO Max just to see Blue Beetle?
Nobody.
No, true, but they've now had to spend money on marketing, which they wouldn't have had to before.
Well, they still would have spent a little bit on marketing it on HBO Max. I get you, but I don't see this as the loss that most people do, because I look at it as they're kind of more or less maximizing what little profit they could make off of this thing at the end of the day, because I don't think it was going to set the HBO Max on fire.
And at the same time, at the same time, Tom, what frustrates me is that the finances behind all of this are once again misconstrued by the mainstream media, saying that with its 120 million plus budget, only needs to make $240 million to be profitable. Oh, no.
That's wrong, but at the end of the day, I don't. That's what I'm saying, though. If Warner Brothers makes that much, they're going to be very happy.
Yeah, you're viewing it from a perspective of it was a loss leader anyway.
It wasn't. Yeah, that's my point. Is like this was never meant to be anything more than that. So anything they make on it is just basically bonus gravy, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that outlook. That
it will make it even more, because now that it'll be in theaters, they can use that as an advertising ploy when they do put it on HBO Max as well.
Yes. Well, yes. Yeah. I can see that outlook. Yeah. Astute observation, Tom. Good, sir. Even in your drugged up state. I like it.
Well done.
Good.
Sometimes I do okay.
You should get surgery more often.
You should. Right, guys, just real quick. We've got 879 people watching the live show. My God. I think that's the highest amount we've had thus far.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining and watching your favorite podcast. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. One and all. Cannot thank you enough. Just as a quick one, 879 people. Smash that thumbs up button if you can. It's not for me. I always say this, but I do mean it. You'll see that these live streams do not stay on the channel. They're not for me. It's not to help the video. The thumbs up is to hopefully encourage YouTube to notify you. That's literally all it's for. It's not for me. I'm not begging, oh, please give me a thumbs up. It's not for me. All right? Promise. But if you could hit that thumbs up button, that would be really good. And hopefully YouTube will try to notify you that this live show is running. But thanks anyway, guys, for joining in and watching your favorite podcast live. Do appreciate it. If you want to support your show, your favorite podcast show, please do with the super chats and the super stickers, which we're going to get to some of them right now. This show gets demonetized, so it's funded by you guys for you guys. So it goes a long way. So do appreciate it. We've got some very, very interesting and good super chats here, and they normally get clipped into their own videos. So you have that if you have a good comment or question. The Big Nose for $5 says, if it ain't black and gay with a terrible plot leading into unwanted sequels with gender confusion, love mix, I don't want to watch it at all. Well, you're in luck. It's everything. You're in luck.
He's got the big nose there. He's a clown, see?
I love it. Clown World. He's ready for the Clown World. Space Dave 2000 for $2 Canadian says, Mr. H, your dream aliens movie. Big fan of the first theme. My dream aliens movie, and I've said this about aliens many times. I said this about many properties, is that what you need to do when a franchise is seemingly considered stale and the powers that be only go to repetitive filmmaking. So like take Alien, for instance, Prometheus. There's a lot of similarities there. Take Aliens, Alien Covenant. But they basically start to remake the same film over and over and over again. So what I say about these things is you actually need to go back to the first two films and you go, right, well, what did the first two films do? They're at their core, a sci-fi horror film, bit of a creature feature as well, but they genre flip. So you've got sort of space truckers in sort of exploratory whatever, and then the second one's an action film. It is an action film. It is an action-saving film, like heroism, etc. So you need to take the core concept of what Alien is and then transplant it into another genre. So you could have a mad scientist feature. Weyland-Yutani's always wanting to experiment on the aliens. Why have we never seen it? Can't it go astray and then bang, all the aliens come out, etc. I mean, you do it like that. You have the core plot built around another genre. You could even have a bank heist or a heist film. You could have people trying to break into a company. You don't realize what the company is until it's too late, and you realize it's Weyland-Yutani. Boom! They break into the wrong room. It's a lab. Aliens get loose, and then all hell breaks loose, and then you go into the same genre that Alien is from the off. That's how you do it. So that, in a nutshell, are my dream kind of aliens movies, is doing it in that way. Do you have anything to add to any of that? What's your dream alien movie, or any thoughts on that as a way to reinvigorate creativity in Hollywood?
I agree with you.
You can answer for me as well, because I think we're on the same page here.
Well, I was just going to say, I agree with you up to one point, and that is that we haven't... I don't think the Alien movies ever got stale, but I do agree with you that Ridley Scott just keeps remaking Alien.
Oh, what I mean is when the studio views it as stale.
Yeah. What I think we have is we've had an underabundance of the exploration of the world of aliens, and that's where I think Blomkamp, I think his vision would have really worked. And I like your idea too. I like the idea of going to different places we haven't seen before, or if you're going to do it, stick with what works. Aliens was very franchisable. Alien, not so much. Aliens sets you up in a position where it's like, okay, these things can reproduce very quickly. We've watched a whole colony get, basically destroyed by them in a matter of weeks, if not months, or less. Like in this case, you have a situation where you can set this up for future stories and future situations and keep going with this until it does actually get stale, like a Fast and Furious kind of situation. But that's the only thing I would disagree with what you said is like, I don't think they've ever really tapped into what Aliens did. Because when you get to Alien 3, that's trying to take it back more to Alien. Alien Resurrection, Lord knows what the hell they were trying to do with that. Alien versus Predator is like its own kind of thing. So like, yeah.
Yeah, I watched Alien Resurrection at the weekend. I had an Alien movie marathon with a whole bunch of beer, and I was just sat there like, fucking hell, this film's bad.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what
it's the hell so bad.
Like, they were trying to go with Alien Resurrection. I'm just like,
so many people were defending it on my Twitter, and I'm like, honestly, no. Like, it's a
why? It's a horrible movie. It's worse than Alien 3. There, I said it.
It is a parody. It becomes a parody. It's so bad. Is there stuff to like about it? Yeah, like there's some fun elements and some cool ideas that were underutilized because it was in a
It
garbage
looked cool
film.
when the aliens were swimming in water.
Yeah, and I like how they're testing the aliens. Like, oh, Brad Dourif's great in it, as he is in everything, but that's about the best I can say about it.
I also
Exactly.
liked how like the two aliens to the sides, but both like agreed with each other. We're gonna kill this dude in the middle just to escape from here, and
Yep.
we saw him shaking fair. That was pretty cool.
That was
There
a
were
cool
some
bit.
Good elements to it.
Cool elements. Garbage.
Cool elements. Shit movie.
Yep.
Oh, dear. There you go, Space Dave.
Yeah. And as for a Dream movie, then Neil Blomkamp's Alien 3.
What about you, Culture?
Okay, now I'll just give you a brief one because we probably need to move on because that was a very long super chat. But I'll say this: aliens as a commodity. I think we need to explore that more because they provide a resource we absolutely need. So they try to farm them, basically, harvest them like cattle, and it goes very terribly wrong and essentially eliminates an entire populace. It becomes like a populist global event where you have like hordes and hordes of aliens going after all the humans around them and just continue to multiply. I think it'd be kind of that mass zombie thing to me. It's kind of a take on that. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. So there you are.
There's Culture's dream alien movie, Space Dave. Shuffling on now. So one from Coco, $9.99. LMAO at Tom's Ryan Kinnell-esque, the Batman rant. It's just facts. And don't forget that cringe white privilege line. There were more than one audible groans in my theater when that line was said. Yeah, there was in mine.
Yeah, you might like that.
When I heard
you might
that
like that rant. But you should clip it, Andre, and put it on the channel.
I'll be clipping.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll both clip it. Admiral Awesome sent in £5. Sorry, £5. We got a Brit here. And also another £5 with a super chat this time says, has anyone seen my keys? P.S. DC sucks.
I laughed at that. I was like, oh my.
Coco for $1.99 says Warner Brothers owns Rotten Tomatoes. Do they? I thought it was Disney that owned
Warner. No, Warner, Universal, and I don't know if Disney does or not, but they definitely play ball with all the studios.
Everybody but Disney has a piece of it as far as the majors go, except the reason that they give Disney so much love normally is because the guy that runs it, the executive that's in charge of it,
former. Yes. Yeah, I knew there was a connection.
Yeah.
Bloody knew it. Leicester San Jose, the skeptic tank, member for 1 month, says, panel, I didn't care for the trailer. Were there tenets outside of family and representation told to any of you to convince you to watch it? Thanks.
No, Lester. No. I feel like they were. I feel like they were marketing to a Fast and Furious crowd.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, it doesn't look that good. It looks generic.
Yeah, and also the issues. It's a Phase 1 movie, and I think the audience has collectively moved on from anything Phase 1, even outside the context of Marvel. But now the bar is so massively raised for comic book movies that you have to be a serious filmmaker in order to make one that's still going to impress people. Because everyone is now just not going to compare it to Spider-Man from 2002. It's going to be compared to all the good ones from James Gunn, from the Avengers, Infinity War, everything. It's going to be compared with all of that. And if it feels like a Phase 1 movie, it's going to look bad in comparison, no matter how good it may be in its own right. I mean, it's going to be refreshing at best, but it can never be more than that.
Yeah. Generic. We got one more super chat before we move on to our next topic, and it is, of course, from Mexican Iron Man. Oh my god, this show gets better and better every week. I can't breathe, and I'm driving in the car. You guys are so funny. I think this was at the Grace Randolph intro.
I love you, Mikey.
So good, so good. Thanks for joining, buddy. I'm glad you. I'm glad you. Honestly, this show.
He's probably just glad he didn't get a phone call today.
Okay.
Well, he's the one that's on my. He adopted me.
Yeah.
He's he's the one. If anything happens to me, he gets to decide whether or not they pull the plug. So as long as he doesn't get a phone call, that's good news.
Goodness me. Right. Well, let's Thank you, everyone, ladies and gents, for joining, as well as Mikey. Let's shuffle on now to.
He texted me already.
Let's shuffle on now to one of our headliners on this show today, which is Snow White pleads her case. Because goodness me, she did more things. Rachel Zegler did more things.
If this is the video, I think it is. Are you sure that it was? Because we found out it's from 2 years ago, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, you didn't know about this?
Oh
yeah.
God, I did not.
Yeah, even Twitter is correcting everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's community notes and everything.
Yeah, we found out yesterday because we were showing it.
It looks even worse now.
It does.
Well, this is from when she said something negative about Jeremy Renner, I guess.
Yeah, so now it's a pattern.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Well, guys, you're in for a treat because it's even worse. She's right. Context. The video in question is Rachel Zegler basically crying in a video, saying that people, she's all depressed and people need, she's the internet's punching bag and blah 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 blah. And yet this is from 2 years ago when she said more dumb stuff on the back end of it. Hasn't learned that she needs to be PR prepped. This is, oh my God. Shall we watch the video, everyone? Shall we watch the video?
Sure. It's cringe, but yeah.
Let's get on that then, culture, buddy.
Fair enough.
So who didn't do their research here on this one?
Oh wow, I don't know. Let's see. Here we go. Boom.
What is going to get taken out of context, and I know that at this point I can't really.
This video has been taken out of context.
That's what my whole existence on the internet is just me being taken out of context and stuff. It's fine. That's what I signed up for, isn't it?
But it's not though, is it? Because if this is from June of 2022, it says before the Snow White controversy began.
Oh, I'm sorry, a year ago, not
Yeah, but it is before the videos resurfaced. But she'd been saying dumb stuff continuously since then and before then. This is what I mean. Like, it's not. No one's taken her out of any context anyway. I mean, obviously, people posting the video saying it's recent is out of context, but it makes her look even worse. Because it's like, where's the lesson? Did you learn a lesson with any of this stuff? Anyway, keep playing.
But I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life, like understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make. It comes with so much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all. So when I tell you that it's hard, I just mean to be inside my brain. That's hard. And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it. And I don't know if that will make sense, but that's where I'm at. I'm so grateful for the things that I'm able to do. And a lot of what I'm able to do is because of you guys. And I'm so unbelievably thankful for that. At the end of the day, I look at this trip and think, if somewhere like that can exist, and so can my tiny pink bedroom from New Jersey, I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously.
God damn it, Coach. So her tiny pink bedroom from New Jersey, whatever it is, where she goes literally to Disneyland every single year, she said.
Yeah.
I mean, behave, love. Behave. We don't need to listen to any more of this kind of stuff. Anyway, this is all nonsense.
You didn't even get to the crocodile tears yet.
Oh, go on then. Let's.
No, well, Andre has to leave. I don't know if he wants to leave before we get back into this garbage, but
yeah, I got the 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Crocodile tears. Let's go.
Wishing people would stop sending me death threats. And maybe that's a weird takeaway for this video. This is a life. This is real. It's filled with a lot of beautiful moments and beautiful people. I have a loving family, an incredible boyfriend that I love so much, beautiful friends and family, people that I miss. It's a privilege to miss people the way that I do, but it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely.
My dog stepped on a bee.
Loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay. Maybe that's a weird takeaway. Regardless, this is not supposed to be anything other than.
Anyway, fucking dog stepped on a bee. This woman, absolute cringe. So she released this about all of this, basically. Snow White actress Rachel Zegler called Hawkeye actor Jeremy Renner racist, sexist, transphobic
garbage monster. Jesus Christ!
And then decided to go, cry tears about it all. But obviously now people are saying, "Oh, hey, this is because of the Snow White stuff." But look, the lesson here is learn a fucking lesson.
I don't think she's capable of doing that.
No. And not only that, she is also in her history. Just mind you, she's tried to deplatform J.K. Rowling.
No, she part of that movement as well.
Yep, she tried to bully Gina Carano, and says all conservatives are racist white supremacists. And we can thank Data Racer, of course, for keeping the tabs on this. So if you want a bit of visual evidence there, go right ahead.
I can't. They blocked me on Twitter.
Oh well, he does do good work, but
well, he doesn't. But when he gets called out for incorrect work,
sometimes he can be very, very
for a bitch fit. Block me.
Yeah.
Block me like a mofo real quick. Well, I'll put you on blast, Data Racer. I don't give a fuck. I'll put you on blast live.
He ain't watching, probably.
No, I know. But
it's
people are.
But to be fair, this is now a very immature person who's been,
isn't it?
Yeah, she's been suffering under the indoctrination of her entire life has lived under. You have to consider the generation right now that are in their 20s. And probably the generation before that have been subjected to this indoctrination, this messaging for so very long to, not only hate themselves, but where they come from and the very system that makes them successful. And that's actually part of the video that I'm doing tomorrow is on her, because
sorry, carry on.
No, please,
I have to drop out. I know. I have to drop credit. I just want to say, she might as well have been grown up in North Korea, where propaganda is concerned. She'll have been equally propagandized as if she was there, just in a different direction. I did not mean to interrupt you, Culture. Sorry about that. I just wanted to throw that in there because it plays a point before I have to drop out here.
Stay safe, Andre.
Try and stay at least 100 yards away from the fire.
So if I'm close enough to barbecue, I'm too close. You're saying?
Well, yeah.
You're probably too close now.
Look, I get it. You're fucking Norwegian and you want to just strip down and go like roast a beast out there in the fire, but don't.
Yeah, he's quite far. Quite far. Quite far. Calm down, Tom. It'll be fine. Anyway, Andre, peace out, my dude. Hopefully, we'll catch you on the show next week.
Yeah, I'll catch you next week. And Tom, I'll send you a video later as proof I'm still alive.
You better.
Oh dear. Right, let's get back to Rachel's.
Take care, everyone. Send me warm thoughts.
Oh my. Oh no.
Yeah, it's cute. He's like roasting hot. They don't roast hot dogs in Norway. They literally stick sticks in pigs or warthogs or whatever, and they stick them over a fire.
Yeah, well,
let's get back to Rachel Zegler then. I mean, the lesson is learn a lesson, right? Like she hasn't learned a lesson in all these years, and she's been in the business for some time now, like 8 odd years or something like that.
She's a child actress, I believe. Yeah,
she's got enough time to learn it, right? I mean, look, I get it. Growing up with social media is bad and all that kind of stuff, but you've got someone that's younger than her, Jenna Ortega, that has managed to be absolutely fine and dandy and not an absolute,
Aubrey Plaza did really well in her growth through Hollywood. I mean, considering how long she's been around, and it's hard. I mean, the number of people that you see that are child stars and then grow up in the system. I mean, you see just how bent they get. You have people talking about trying to escape from it, and it's that's kind of troubling.
I am wrong. Actually, her first movie was West Side Story. I thought she was in the first Shazam years ago.
No, she was in the second.
She's only in the second Shazam. That's right.
Yeah, but she's and again, I mean, her first shot was several years ago. She was just coming into her own and approaching adulthood. But when I see these types of things, and I really do try to put them in the context of this person doesn't know any better.
Look, it is a child. Let's be real. Look, she's in her 20s, but she still has the mentality of a 10-year-old.
Well,
I get it to a degree. But you're not going to give her you can't give her the benefit of the doubt indefinitely.
Oh, I'm not giving it as a pass. I mean, I'm looking at it as like I'm just giving her a pass as in look, okay, I was wrong. She wasn't a child actress. For some reason, I thought she had been in the business for a while. Has not been.
No.
Oh my God, why did you have to put her up there? She's
I was
giving Brie a
yawning.
run for her. You put Brie up.
I was yawning.
It's just ironic because this chick is giving Brie a run for her money. I mean,
Whenever I go off camera, ladies and gents, I'm yawning or
I'm usually like
drinking
fapping or smoking. So at least no.
Oh, goodness me. Right. Anyway, guys. So, but it gets worse for Rachel Zegler, right? So, branding experts are now warning.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that we say all the time, that she could ruin Disney's big budget Snow White remake. It's like, yeah, obviously, but likely the executives are going to be having crisis talks with her right now. I can believe that unequivocally, because not only that, but she's been labeled like an anti-feminist as well.
How?
Well, it's quite.
Oh.
Well, quite aptly actually, if you look at it. So, just because a woman's values something different doesn't make her any less valuable. Some women want a career and not marriage. Some women want a marriage or family and not a job. Some women want both, or and are to be, and and all are to be heard and seen and valued. Basically, for the commentary demeaning the love story in Snow White, that's what it's all about.
Right.
That's why she's being labeled an anti-feminist, basically.
Well, sure, I get it to that extent. For that perspective, I don't agree with her, or I don't agree with her being called an anti-feminist.
Get rid of Brie, please, mate. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to help you out there.
No.
Can I look at the screen yet?
Yes, it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
He's triggering me.
Yeah. By the way,
everything's triggering you today, Tom. Andre on holiday, triggered.
Batman.
I'll finish off what I was saying and just say this. I mean, this is a person who's been subjected to this her entire life, and she grew up in an area that's incredibly universally one direction. Nothing else is acceptable. And then that's only reinforced by her handlers. And again, she's been under the care of handlers since her career began. So from West Side Story to obviously Snow White, Hunger Games, all these other things, these recent projects that she's involved in. I mean, she's only been given this one-sided, blah, blah, blah in her ear all day. So it's the only thing she knows. And she is, as Tom suggested, lacking emotional maturity. She's never grown up. And so you always hear people with infantile perspectives, being silly because they've not roundly thought about everything. Well,
silly billies.
I'm trying to be kind, but I mean, but seriously, she doesn't
Breaking news: Culture calls Rachel Zegler a silly Billy.
That's true. That's a great headline.
Rachel Zegler cries.
I would feel bad about that. I never want to make anybody feel bad. I think we all try to illustrate. Look, you can do a little bit of research. You can become a little more informed, and you can maybe see what the outcome is going to be of something that you say. And I don't think, and again, that's a lack of maturity, not being able to see what's going to happen.
Massively. Guys, we've got 864 people here, 850 plus people, but only 400 likes. Please do hit that thumbs up button.
Please, yeah.
The reason why I ask is so it's not for the video gets unlisted. It's to hopefully tell YouTube to notify you, interact with the video in some way, whether it's a comment or a super chat or whatever. A like is the easiest way to do it, and hopefully YouTube will then notify you. Would really appreciate that if you can. And I will say as well, we're now going to take a quick break from our topics, and we're going to start taking a lot of the super chats because we've got quite a lot to get through.
Yeah.
If you want to support the show, because we're demonetized, we get demonetized all the bloody time. Super chats are the way to do it. Your favorite podcast, the Hcast, is funded by you guys, for you guys. Super chats, super stickers, and memberships. I don't really plug any of that stuff enough. But memberships are a good way to do it as well. You do get access to these little emojis that I've had made for the channel. Members in the chat sound off with all the Jasper emojis and the Jasper Loki emoji and all that stuff. That'd be cool. Anyway, let's get to some of these super stickers and super chats. So KN, Kareen, $4.99 in a epic super sticker. Thank you so much, my man. Admiral Awesome says, does Andre want to buy a bucket of water from me? But put out the fire. Yeah,
it's a trap. Andre, it's a trap.
He'll probably send me a WhatsApp now and go, yes, please. I'm burning. Jim Watari became a member. Thank you so much, my dude. Really appreciate that. And Sir Boy of Lard has been a member for 15 months.
Dude, I love that.
Legendary name.
That's
I love
great.
that. So good. Kay and Kareen. So this is $4.99 basically for Tom. Says, I'm glad your surgery went well, Tom. You guys are so effing funny.
Thank you.
She's working. She's at
he's
work.
working as well.
She
yeah.
is.
Thank
She
you.
is. She is working. Yep.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys enjoy the show. Obviously, we stay as professional as possible on the topics, and then we shuffle around. No, we do. We do.
No, but it's just
we have a good bit of fun. It's a good
of course, because they're silly. That's going to be the new channel word. Just silly.
T-Nail89, aka Dislikes Puns, for $2 says you might like Alien Isolation, Mr. H. Oh, I might. In fact, I've got 2 playthroughs on the channel of Alien Isolation. One way back in the day, and then one more recently. I think the second one's like Alien Isolation 2 Boogaloo or something like that. I can't playthrough 2 Boogaloo. I can't remember what it's called, but it's on the channel if you want to watch that, guys. It's a good playthrough. Wartooth88 for $5 says, may we hear Tom's imitation of the villain ranting to Ethan from MI3, except he replaces the name Ethan with Biden. Tom, are you able to do this in your inebriated state?
I don't think I should say that name because I could probably go to prison for it.
He'll be fine.
No, I think that's actually against the law for me to do that. Because he's saying things like, I'm gonna hurt you and then I'm gonna kill you, and like, so I don't I don't think I can say that, unfortunately.
Just do the impression in general.
I can say this, Brandon, you're a dick and I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna find your friends and I'm gonna hurt them too. I'm gonna find your dog and I'm gonna hurt him. Go, Brandon.
There you go, Wartooth.
Is that better? That works.
I think that works. Yeah.
Oh my God. What a terrible use of an incredible actor. It was just like, oh man.
Bad times. Israel Al for $10 says, as a Hispanic Latino myself, I just want a good movie because it just feels like they are just using us for profit when the film is labeled as good for the community. I mean, what is this community? Who's the leader of this community? Like, communities, this whole when you're Black community, Latino community, it's a way to separate people.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a box so you can be sold to, literally, like you are saying here. It's so you can be sold to, profited off of. It's nonsense. It's absolute garbage. I'm equal opportunities. I rag on everyone. I don't care.
No, it's reinforcement of this idea of the politics of division, which has been around since the early 80s.
You know why they're doing this? And I'll tell you why. And this is actually kind of sad. Because it's not going to take a whole lot for this movie to become the highest grossing Hispanic-led movie in history. Do you know why? Even though the Hispanic audience makes up over 30% of the movie going public, the highest grossing film about that was directed by Hispanics, had a Hispanic led leading cast, and I use that in quotations because they all aren't, but it's still considered that, is La Bamba, and that came out 33 years ago. Even Selena did not outgross La Bamba.
Oh, they go then.
So all it's gonna take for this movie to do it is like I think La Bamba made like 130 some million. Paulie knows exactly what I'm fucking talking about too. Now, at the end of the day, I don't think they should be using that to sell this movie. They should be selling the movie as fun.
Yeah, of course they should.
That's what they should be selling it as family fun.
Sell it as a movie. It's literally just a movie, and then because Latino people see.
But my point is in 2 weeks from now,
watch it as it is,
you're going to see the headline saying just what I was talking about, and they're going to use that as a big thing.
I hadn't thought about it in that way, but you're bloody right. You are absolutely right.
And
Accent Seller for 50 Norwegian kroner says, hi, I'm KK and On. Exclusive inside info. Blue Beetle's code name during pre-production was Dung Beetle. They knew they had a stinker off to sell my crib. Fuck's sake. I wish we had Jonas around for longer on Tuesday, because I was going to quiz him on because I was I chimed in on a funny Twitter exchange about the whole KK and on stuff. And
hey, she is KK is selling her Malibu Beach Barbie estate. So
KK and on.
fucking the KK and on that needs to be a bit as well.
Yeah, Tom, write that down.
I
Access
would
seller
make so
for
many enemies.
That's
20 Norwegian kroner says Mexican Iron Man can't breathe in car. Roll down your window.
Oh, that'll help.
Yeah, that helps.
Wow.
Yeah, you get some more oxygen in there, bud.
Mikey's got a nice enough car. I'm sure he has plenty.
Has he? What car's
conditioning.
Mikey got?
I
What's
don't
he
know,
got?
but
What's
I
he
can
rolling
imagine
in.
he's rolling. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, dude rolls
Is
deep
he?
in fat stacks, man. He's
Does
like
he?
he's like lighting his
He's
cigars.
a pimp.
Yeah,
Have you seen my daily driver? Do you know what I drive?
Yeah,
daily?
you guys probably would have a lot in common. I don't know what he's got, but yeah.
Yeah, he's
Mexican Iron Man. I want to know, Mikey. I want to know what you drive.
dude.
He
Does
probably
my
has
car beat
multiple
yours?
cars, actually.
He's lighting
Right.
his cigars with $100.
I wonder if he's got a driver. That's my question. No, I know he
maybe.
does. He drives. I'm kidding.
He likes
All
to.
right. Let's
He is Mexican Iron Man after all.
I want to know what you drive, Mikey. T-Nail89, aka Dislike Funds, for $2 says Q Mr. Krabs playing the world's smallest violin. I don't know what that was referencing, but yeah. Oh, that was Rachel Zegler,
Yeah.
Philip M for $10 says, for judgment will be merciless to one who has shown no mercy.
True.
But to the one who has shown mercy, mercy triumphs victoriously over judgment. James 2:13 AMP. Good to find your culture on Mr. H.
Yeah.
This is it's like a Proverbs.
This is an incredible quote from James, and yeah, well done. And this is sound
from James. What is
it's
this?
it's from the Bible.
Yeah, so yeah, okay,
the Bible.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, but no, the good thing about this is it does remind us to remember that to be tempered in our judgments of others. So
no, hell no, I'm judging everybody.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Philip. I do appreciate the super chat. Everyone sending in super chats goes a long way. Thank you so much. Again, you help keep the lights on. We get demonetized. Your favorite podcast is funded by you guys, so thank you so much. Coco for $4.99 says, give me a Predator set in feudal Japan. Disgraced Ronin, starring Hiroyuki Sanada, hunts down the Predator after he fails to protect his master from it. Slight issue with that one, though. Surely he would have to commit seppuku if that had happened.
Oh. Is that how it works?
Seppuku?
Yeah, if you're disgraced, yeah, you kill yourself.
Oh, if you're disgraced.
Ritualistic suicide, right?
But
if he's a disgraced Ronin, especially, yeah, of course you would. Yeah, I reckon I'm right.
Does the Predator get nunchucks? Because if the Predator gets nunchucks, I'll forget the other part.
Yeah,
yeah, whatever. Who cares? He gets nunchucks. And there's a geisha Predator.
Will his tentacles be made of nunchucks?
No, but there's some cherry blossom, some sakura.
What kind of badass sword are we talking for the Predator here?
No sword.
What?
It's
no sword.
It's feudal Japan though.
I don't. It doesn't mean the Predator is feudal Japan.
But the Predator.
Predator's an alien.
But the Predator only
from space.
But the Predator only fights with weapons of whatever it's facing. Because it wants.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
That's why I refuse to watch Prey.
Predator, no, even Predator, they just launched a bloody plasma caster at
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I was never. I mean, I've heard Prey is good, but I'm like, how could this be? Prey should only be like 5 minutes long, because that Predator just come in and just kill them all.
True.
Perhaps in previous time frames, the Predators were a little bit more, honorable.
Yeah.
Is that what you're implying here?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
The Big Nose for $2 says my last comment was describing a new Alien film.
Oh,
I can believe that. Although there is one coming out, so we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Norwegian Kryptonian for 59 Norwegian kroner says, does the general audience care or even know of the Clone Wars Rebels characters in Star Wars? I think this was one for Nick. He had this the other day and he said,
I'm glad Norwegian asked this though, because this is a common misconception among EU fans and Rebels fans and Clone Wars fans. and that is that they think these shows are much bigger
Oh,
and
yeah.
more people watch them than actually do.
Yeah.
I am sorry to say that even though Heir to the Empire and all these things were on the bestseller list, most people don't know or give a fuck about these books. They didn't then, and that's part of the reason why they didn't stick with them at Disney, unfortunately. And the same thing goes for these characters, and that's why I'm sure they're going to be like, well, why isn't Ahsoka bigger? More people got exposed to Ahsoka through the Mandalorian show than probably
Yes.
through the Clone Wars cartoons, sadly.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
agree with
it's just a fact. And I know because I went to see the Clone Wars movie in theaters, there was one other sad looking nerd in the theater with me at the time.
One other sad looking. So you're a sad looking nerd
I was a
as well.
sad enough looking nerd. He was just as sad. And yeah, we shared a look at one point going, yeah, we're both pretty pathetic.
No, a knowing look.
A knowing look that we were both pretty pathetic for giving George more money.
There you go.
For what's
Basically,
ostensibly a three episodes of a pilot shoved together.
So basically, Norwegian, no, they don't know or care, basically. And that'll be proven in the Ahsoka ratings and viewership on the Nielsen charts.
I'm not saying they're not popular. I'm just saying on the level of like Star Wars, it's a blip.
But he's saying, does the general audience care? And I'm like, no, they don't. The general audience doesn't care. Like, general audiences know about Star Wars, and general audiences care about Star Wars generally, but they don't care about Star Wars Rebels or Clone Wars. And also, even general Star Wars viewers don't care about that, I would say. Anyway, Mr. Tickle Chunks for 10 Canadian dollars says, a little monetary boon from Canada to you.
Ooh.
I guess you'll spend it on fun stuff like electricity bills, water bills, and whey protein. Give your producer pats and tell him he's a good boy for me, please.
He is a good boy.
Jasper is always a good boy. In fact, for those that don't know, we talked about cars briefly just now. I got a car channel, which is linked actually in the description box. There is an hour-long video coming up. An hour-long 4K journey through hell. All right, that's going to be released on Sunday. So if you're into... You see my dog a lot, basically. He's in that video quite a lot.
Does he like to go for rides?
No, mate, this car doesn't drive. All right, it's me trying to fix this.
I'm just curious because some dogs like to go for rides. Some dogs are like, nope. That just means I'm going to the vet.
He does. He does like going for car rides, but he has to sit on my lap.
Seems like smaller dogs. Yeah, I was gonna say generally smaller dogs tend to like car rides more than bigger dogs.
Yeah. Bless him. But anyway, car channel guys, hour-long video coming up on Sunday.
I know there's some dogs that you just say that word around them and they freak out and they're ready to get in the car.
Yeah, go for a ride.
Yeah. Rob Altis for $5 says, loving the H-Cast. More than 3 years here. Keep being cool, Mr. H. Thanks so much, Rob. Yeah, I've seen you drop in with loads of comments here, there, and everywhere. So thanks, buddy.
Wasn't Bear Dog a co-pilot too? Culture.
Bear Dog would go for a ride if you even jangled your keys.
Mr. Tickle Trunks for $2 Canadian says, preach. Demographics are not communities. Thank you. Exactly. They're not.
Yeah.
Such nonsense.
But what's amazing is, and Tom left this out and I wanted to comment on it real quick, and Paulie's here too. The Latino audience in the United States over indexes incredibly. They more than represent the audience when they go see films, and they are motivated by quality entertainment, family oriented films. That's their jam. So like I said,
it's a big reason Sound of Freedom did what it did too.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, I agree with that. So let's shuffle on now. Where were we? We got 2 super stickers, one from Jesus, I'm guessing, De Villa, $1.99, and Tom Working, $1.49. Thank you so much, guys. And we got 3 more super chats before we move on to a really, really fun topic, and it is fun topic actually. Coco for $1.99 says, fine, he can seppuku after he avenges his master.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to Google that, see if Ronins do it. I think they do.
Isn't it seppuku?
What? You're just saying it differently.
I don't like Sudoku though. That stuff's stupid. I don't understand it.
I know, Tom. You don't understand computers.
My mom does it all the time.
Oh man.
No, he spelled it right. It is seppuku.
Yeah.
So it's SEPPUKU.
Seppuku.
Oh, whatever, mate. Who cares?
Boku wa kami no
Like,
shitani.
whatever. All right, I'm not.
Did culture just raise a
Harikiri in the
Cthulhu?
West. God
Kinda.
damn it. Right, anyway. Accent seller, 20 you ripping on my pronunciations. Accent seller, 20 Norwegian kroner. Says Clone Wars Rebels put me off. Childish name, CG animation. Yeah.
I am not a fan of CG animation, I'll be honest with you.
It's lazy. It's cheap, I feel. Like it was cheap
And it all
style
looks
where
like it all looks like pop vinyls, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's where they moved away from actual, artistry, I feel. And it was like, And there was a wave of it. Everything was CG animated at that time as well. And it was just bland and boring. I was like, nah, fuck this noise. Not good. Anyway, Tom Working for $5 says, between giving Lucas money and KK, giving him money will seem a memory of heaven.
True.
Yeah. True. Very, very true. Who would I prefer to line pockets of? KK or Lucas? KK and On will be in on that one as well, I'm sure. But, ladies and gents, moving on to our next topic, let's talk Big G, because we've Apple TV Plus is making a MonsterVerse TV show. We've got the new title. We've also got some new details, and we've got our first look at Godzilla. It is titled Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. We've got new features because obviously Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell are in this. Initially, they thought that they would be playing father and son. They're playing the same character because some of it's going to be set in the past, some of it's going to be set in the future. This sounds amazing, and it looks amazing. It looks so, so good. So here we have it. Following the thunderous battle between Godzilla and the Titans that leveled San Francisco and the shocking revelation that monsters are real, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters tracks two siblings following in their father's footsteps to uncover their family's connection to the secretive organization known as Monarch. Clues lead them into the world of monsters, ultimately down the rabbit hole to Army Officer Lee Shaw, played by Kurt and Wyatt Russell, taking place in the 50s and half a century later. Where Monarch is threatened by what Shaw knows. The dramatic saga spanning 3 generations reveals buried secrets and the ways that epic, earth-shattering events can reverberate through our lives. If it's set in the 50s, this is actually pre-Kong Skull Island. It is a prequel to everything.
God, this is going to be so good.
And here we have fucking King Big G himself, King of the Monsters. Oh my God, does it look good?
I want this so badly.
Is that actually
Doesn't
from the
it
show?
look good?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I mean, look, it's a MonsterVerse show. It's in canon with Legendary's MonsterVerse. So they've obviously taken the models, they've taken the assets and reworked them into this because it has to look identical. You can't have Godzilla not looking like Godzilla. So if you're going to show live action Godzilla, it has to be exactly the same 3D models, right? Legendary owns the assets, so they've just given them to Apple TV. Fucking look at that. Or licensed it.
Yeah, I think the only thing
expense.
they can't do is Kong. They have to license through Warner, yeah.
But look at this.
I want this so badly.
And look at the
gorgeous.
When I read this and I'm looking at this, I'm like, this looks more adult. This looks much more mature. Whereas, I think Legendary's done a really smart thing with the films. They have gone down a little bit more of an immature-ish route, sci-fi, fantasy, because that's where their merchandise sales are going to come from all the kids. I understand that. I get it. I don't begrudge it because I can still enjoy it. But did I love 2014's serious tone, the Godzilla tone? Did I like King of the Monsters serious tone? Kong Skull Island serious tone? Yes. Do I want more of that? Yes. Does this look like it's that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. God, father and son. This is so great.
But playing the same character.
I know.
I can't wait.
Great.
I cannot wait to see how they. Because one of the best things about Face Off, for instance, was how each actor mimicked each other's mannerisms. Right. This father and son having to copy one singular character, one vision. I think that's going to be really interesting. Anyway. Tom, thoughts, my dude?
Is that Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
He's looking a little old, but...
You're not listening? Oh, my God.
I'm putting on my stupid boots because I keep hitting my toes. I'm listening, but I'm only half paying attention. You didn't see the BRB, evidently.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
So,
no,
they're
I'm
playing the
getting
same
a little
character.
more interested in this. Yeah.
Kurt and Wyatt Russell playing the same character. It was thought initially when they were cast that it was going to be father and son, obviously father and son, but they're playing the same character across generations.
I can deal with that.
Oh, what do you think to the shots? The more serious tone, the
Yeah.
vibe? What do you
I
reckon?
mean, I guess I'm kind of with you. If you're going to go back to the serious tone, do it in a TV show like this. Yeah, because kids don't have the attention span for something like this. But you're 100% right, because that's what I had said about, and I think you and I even kind of got into a little bit about Godzilla versus Godzilla King of the Monsters box office originally, when I'd said it's not doing what they needed it to do, but the toys are selling, and that's the only reason we got King Kong versus Godzilla, and that's why they went completely towards the kids and made it like a Saturday morning cartoon, because those toys were selling like crazy. That if it wasn't for those toys, we wouldn't have gotten another movie.
I completely agree. I mean, I was with someone very high up associated with that movie when they literally had a phone call from Warner Brothers saying, yeah, we're well happy with this box office result. And that was opening weekend. It was on the Sunday. So I'll leave it all to your imagination who I was having a drink with at that point.
But then again, you got to keep in mind it also fell off a cliff after that too.
Yeah, but I mean but again, they were happy with the box office because they knew what the demographics were and they were translating.
The toys were probably already selling really well. That's the point. Yeah,
exactly my point.
And that's what I noticed too, is that this is a rarity in toys where you had, up until the day the King Kong versus Godzilla toys came out, the King of the Monster toys were on the shelf. And I guarantee in the King Kong versus Godzilla toys are still on the shelf and will be until Godzilla X King Kong whatever toys come out.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, it looks good for a TV show. And I got Apple, so I guess when does it start?
I don't think they've given a release date yet, actually. Doesn't that look good though? It looks so good.
Compared to some of the other shit we see, yeah.
Well, the thing about Godzilla, their CG's always been top notch.
Always.
You regardless whether you think they're cartoonish or not, their CG's impeccably done. The fur on Kong is amazing. It all looks amazing. Yeah, it gets cartoonish, but the CG is impeccable. And they don't, the money they spend on it, and you look at a Marvel movie, it's an embarrassment by comparison. And so for this to be on the small screen, I love the look of this. To be on the small screen, this is amazing. This is great. I wasn't bothered about this initially. I'm bothered now. Coach taking a sip there before he starts.
I love this. I mean, it looks good. The chat seems to indicate that there may be some issues there with the writing and so on and so forth. But
the writing of the films, yeah, because they went a bit kiddish. Yeah, people don't like that. But.
Yeah, but as far as the imagery here, if this is what I'm going to get in the show, I'm super stoked. I mean, go ahead.
And as far as the kiddish aspect, look, I get it. We want a more serious Godzilla. We're going to get that out of Toho. We got to understand that one thing about this is, look, if any Godzilla fan who's watched all the movies and loves all of the films knows that there's this goofy shit in a lot of the movies.
Yeah.
So like these movies are really have been playing and I had my issues with the humans in King of the Monsters. But it doesn't matter because you've got Godzilla movies where there's freaking aliens and shit. Like, I mean, you just got to kind of play along with that part of it. That's not the worst of it. Like, I get why Warner Brothers did what they did. I enjoyed Godzilla versus Kong. Is it the greatest Kong movie or Godzilla movie ever? Oh, hell no. But what it did do is exactly what they needed it to do. And if they're going to do this kind of a thing, this is more than what we get out of a lot of these franchises, especially if this is more adult oriented. Right. And more in line with 2014, because I see some people are like, oh, we're not going to see much of the monsters. Probably not, because we know there wasn't a whole lot of monster activity prior to the 2014 film. That's the whole point. But in that, what we're going to see is a lot of like people investigating stuff. And, as long as they've got decent actors, and it looks like they're going to be bouncing back and forth between modern day and the past. So we will get some monsters, but as long as they keep it, keep it grounded and shit, more like the 2014 film, I think people will like it. Yeah.
Well, so on that topic of not seeing many monsters, with the investigative elements that you're sort of proposing, I would like to throw my 2 cents in there and actually say that I think that would be very, very compelling, because you're,
Right.
you'd see like bones of a kaiju and you'd be like, well, what's that too?
Well, it's almost
You know,
procedural element to it too, in a way.
but all this sort of fascinating. This is a show that builds backstory that will get people really enthralled in the lore and the canon, and it'll expand the universe in a really interesting way. It has the potential to, anyway. We don't know if it's going to. That stuff's great. It's the Easter egg kind of elements. It's the things which people dissect. It's those things which people obsess over because they saw something that looked maybe like it was, from Anguirus or something like this, right? Those kind of things are fascinating, interesting, and people love it. And I think if there's any vehicle to have a lot of Easter eggs like that, it's actually this.
Oh yeah,
And I think that'll blow people away. I think it'd be
well,
great.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, because we just recently found an animal we didn't know existed that was the heaviest, largest animal on the planet. We found an
Lizzo.
entire skeleton in the desert.
Lizzo.
Yes, Lizzo. Well, the prehistoric version of Lizzo. Anyway,
Yeah.
but honestly, those kinds of things always thrill me, because I'm like, look, it's something else we didn't know about, and it existed. It lived here on this planet, and so I like those kinds of things. So I think you're right, and I'm, like I said, I really do. I really did appreciate that they're going to move forward with that thing, because we've been hearing about the show for a long time.
Yeah, they did some shit in Australia, and then it all sort of went quiet, and then we haven't really heard anything. And now, boom, there'll be a trailer 2 weeks from now. Easy. Within 2 weeks, there'll be a teaser trailer.
I hope
and
so.
we'll discuss it here on your favorite podcast, the
On your
HCast.
favorite podcast.
Ladies and gents, let's shuffle on now to some super chats that came in. So, Wartooth88 for $5 says the Predator and Prey was on the spectrum. That is why his older brothers didn't give him a plasma caster. He could have blown a hole through the hole. It's not the case, but yeah, all right, it's funny. Muller Webb for £5. Nice to have you on, dude. Says presumably this show would take place at the same time as the -1 movie. So the -1 movie's got nothing to do with this show.
Completely
so
unrelated.
The -1 movie is Toho's reboot of Godzilla. Basically, it's Toho's reboot.
Yeah.
This is a continuation. It's a good time to be a Godzilla fan. Like a really good time to be a Godzilla fan. You'll have Toho, Japanese version of Godzilla, rebooting their universe, and the continuation of the Western Godzilla universe, still continuing with ever expanding stuff.
Yeah.
So I love it. I think this is great.
The closest
Absolutely
we had
brilliant.
to this would have been in the 60s, when you had all those Godzilla movies coming out.
Yeah.
And the US animated series. That's as close as you can get.
Yeah.
Because even when they made the 98 film, there was a deal that they couldn't make any movies around that. So that's why Toho had to wait so long. And then when they did, it was finally like Godzilla 2000 and Final Wars or whatever. After they had to wait the couple year thing. But like we pointed out with this deal, for them, they were smart this time. The only thing they can't do
whatever they want
is just release a movie in the same year. That's it.
Yeah. So really good time to be a Godzilla fan. Again, cannot wait for this. Accent Seller for 20 Norwegian kroner says, my girl Gisela crushing the patriarchy, yes, queen.
Well,
wow.
If you get technical about it, I guess.
A tipping bound for $1.99 says, don't mind culture. He said, Ohio or weird. That made me hurt my brain reading that. Ohio, yeah. That actually hurt my brain reading that. Anyway, right.
That's true. I did.
Yeah, good. Right. Well, guys, ladies and gents, thank you all for watching. We are going to round out our live show now. My back is absolutely wrecked. We didn't have a lot of topics today anyway. We sort of got through them on a nice quick level anyway. So thank you all for watching. We'll be joined again, of course. We will be joining you again next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. British Standard Time, UK time. And then Thursday starts at 7 p.m. UK time. I'll be back in on Sunday, maybe, to do a stream. I've been slacking on them, but I do want to get them going again. I've had loads of issues with my back, basically. So that's genuinely why I've not been doing it, because I wasn't even going to sit here today. I was going to sit downstairs on a different chair. But I think the acoustics are better up here. So that's why I ended up forfeiting my back and pain for this. But we'll get it sorted all out. But thank you so much for joining. Mr. Tickle Trunk sent in $2 Canadian, says, check your history. Lizzo was the Big Bang mate. Fuck's sake. Accent seller for 50 Norwegian credits as Godzilla versus Queen Lizzo. She fires giant bananas out of her JJ and shames Godzilla into submission for being too fat. Godzilla covered in bananas. Fucking hell. My God, we're going off the reservation. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining your favorite podcast, Culture. Plug some stuff. What you doing? Where you going?
2 incredible videos dropped today. Go check them out. One during the course of this show. We got WDW Pro. I'm going to be on next. Then I've got the Comics Decision show, Thursday Night Throwdown. And then tomorrow morning, we have the 6-minute daily. And then I'm going to go and see a film. And then I'm going to go and do my Friday show. And that's it. Go.
Tom, what's going on, bro?
I don't know. I'm supposed to have Midnight's Edge After Dark here in a little bit, I suppose. At about 6 o'clock Central.
Don't stream it.
Find me there.
StreamYard.
And I'm not gonna. Did you get it deleted? I deleted it on my end, but
it's still there. It was
well, you should be able to delete it. Yeah,
it's so funny.
Oh, very, very funny. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining your favorite podcast, the HCast. Remember, stay tuned again every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday, 9 p.m. British Standard Time. We are back every single week. Thursday, 7 p.m. British Standard Time. We are back every single week. Keep tuning in. Keep joining your favorite podcast. Guys, thank you so much. Take care. Peace out. Bye-bye now.
Bye.